Sunday, we're going to be making a very important change to how we check in children to the classes for Sunday school. And so going forward, starting next week, every child from newborn to age 11 will need to be checked in through the Church Center app, and we have kiosks at the hallway that you may have seen. But you'll need to check them in when they arrive, as well as to check them out of their classroom. Now, you may be asking, well, why are we doing this? By God's grace, our church has grown a lot. We have close to 500 people here on Sunday mornings. And it's something that we're obviously very grateful for, but that growth can create some issues around consistency and security and things like that. And so we want to make sure that all of the children that we have in our Sunday school programs, whether they're nursery or above, that we know where they are, we know what allergies they might have, who the appropriate person is to check them out. And so we think it's especially important as we welcome new families and as they visit, that they can be comfortable knowing that we have good security protocols in place and things like that. So we want to have a consistent process for everybody. So I realize some of you are like me, you've been here forever, and you're just used to it, and you let your kids run around, and it's all great. But what we want to do is whether you've been here for 20 years or this is your first Sunday, we want to follow the same process for everyone. And so what I'd like to do is first ask for some patience and grace as we work through this over the next couple of weeks. We know that it's going to add an extra step to your routine as you check kids in, and especially when you're wanting to have those conversations after your Sunday school class, that you have to go, oh, I got to go run off and get my kiddos. And so we realize that that's going to take a lot of extra mental space, and hopefully it'll just take us a couple of weeks to kind of get into the flow. So yeah, would appreciate your patience. And then what I'd like to do is invite Matt Osborne to come and walk you through the new process.
All right, good morning, everyone. As Joel said, I am Matt Osborne and just started about a month or so ago as the new Children's Ministry Director here. I've been learning a lot and just want to quickly walk you through, because this is something new and you may have a lot of questions. What does it look like? And so for all of our Sunday Children's Ministry programs, this is what the check-in process will look like. We have some slides up on the screen. I'm going to try to click through if it works, and we'll just tell you how you can properly check in your children with the new procedure. So the first thing you're going to do is go to our check-in station. You may have noticed that if you walk into the through the main entrance doors, you turn left to go down the children's hallway. Right there on the left side of the wall, directly across from the fellowship hall, there's a place where there are some iPads and some printers. That is the check-in station. We are working on getting some signage up there, but you're going to go with your children to the check-in station. So that means that children will not be allowed to just go straight to the classroom. We will need to make sure that a parent is checking their child in at the check-in station. Once you get there, there are 3 iPads. At the iPad, you walk up and you simply type in the last 4 digits of your telephone number. So very simple, you put the last 4 of your phone number in, you hit check in. Once you do that, all of your children, and I use myself as an example, all of your children should pop up automatically, and you can just check the box. So once you get going for a long time, the system will actually automatically check the children that are typically checked in at that time. So if you bring all of your kids on Sunday morning, when you enter your last 4 and hit submit, all of your children should be checked in. So then you just click a box. If they're unable to be there for that week, you can edit it. But you check all the children who are going to be checked in at that time, and you hit check in. When it does so, your child will not be quite as cute as the one on the screen. That's okay. It's okay. We have realistic expectations. This is my son, in case you didn't know. So When you get that, once you hit check-in, it will print out a sticker for each one of your children. On the sticker, in addition to having the child's name and some information like the parent's name and phone number in case there's an emergency, it will have a unique 4-digit code there on the side. So you'll take the sticker and go ahead and place it on the front torso of your child so that all the teachers and the volunteers can clearly see. The lone exception for that may be in the nursery. We understand that some of the children, little babies, if you stick it here, we know what they're going to do with it. So in the nursery, we may stick it on the back. But for the most part, we want to stick it on the front of the child. After all of the labels have printed out for your children, you get them on the front. At the very end, there will be a security label that prints out for the parent. The security label has the same 4-digit code that corresponds for each of your children. So this is the way when you go to pick up your child, we can make sure that the codes line up, that you are the person you're supposed to be for picking up your child. So you're going to hang on to your security label, and we'll talk about what to do to that here in a second. But then you will directly escort your child to their classroom. So we are asking the parents not to just check your children in and send them on down the hallway. If you could, we know, as Joel said, it may be as an extra step from what you're doing right now, but if you could just escort your child to the classroom, we would greatly appreciate it. You'll give them to their teacher, and then at the end of class, you show up, you still have your security label, and you just need to show that to the teacher. You are not going to want to turn it in, because if you have multiple children, all of your children will have the same security code, and so you may need to go to different classrooms and show that security label to multiple teachers. So just show it to them. Once they confirm everything lines up, you will have your child, and you should be able to get going with your life. So a couple of final things here. We understand that for many people, they choose to have someone other than the parents check in their child. So if you're wondering, hey, I typically have grandma or grandpa or my best friend, somebody else checks in our children regularly, that is okay. We have something called trusted persons. And all you need to do for that, if you are a parent of a child or multiple children, and you want other people to have permission to check in your child, you just need to reach out to me. You can talk to me in person, or you can send me an email and let me know, here are the people I want to be a trusted person. That trusted person can then check in your child, and they will put in the last 4 digits of their phone number, and it will show up for them that they have permission to check in this child. They will be able to do it. The same thing goes with somebody who's not a parent picking up a child. If you as the parent check in your child, but hey, I want my 16-year-old to pick, kid A up from the classroom, that is okay. You just need to make sure that the security label that was printed off, you get it to the person who's going to be picking up the child. So as long as a person shows up with the correct security label, they will be able to pick up the child. You just need to make sure that you're passing that along. And as Joel said, we understand this is a new process. People are going to forget. People are going to lose the label. Those things are going to happen. Just as he asked for patience, we're going to be as gracious as we can be with all of you, but we certainly do appreciate your cooperation. And eventually, we also will have things such as the ability to check in your children online. You can actually do that. You can pre-check them in through the Church Center app. If you go to the More button, and you click More, there's a little tab that says Children's Check-In. So you can pre-check in, where when you show up to the kiosk, you actually just scan a QR code, and it will print off everything for you. So that's a lot for now. Hopefully, when you do it, it's really straightforward. It's very simple. It's a really good thing. But if you do have questions, certainly do not hesitate to reach out and ask. Thank you so much.